This is a Fox News Alert. I'm Jackie Ibanez in New York. We take you now to Denver, Colorado, where Donald Trump is getting ready to start a rally there. He's headed to the podium this after he had a rally in Reno, Nevada, where he had a little scuffle there. Secret Service had to take him off quickly off of the stage there. Supposedly, there was an individual in the crowd who yelled gun, and at that point, that's when the Secret Service rushed him off. They got him back there on the quickly. No problems that we've heard of there. Now he's here in Denver, Colorado. Let's listen in to what Donald Trump has to say. This is his fourth stop of the day.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you very much. Great people. Incredible people. Thank you. Thank you. In 3 days, we are going to win the great state of Colorado. And we are going to win back the White House. Gonna happen. So important. If you haven't mailed in your ballot, don't do that. Bring it. Bring it. Take it to the drop box in your county. Don't put it in the mail. I know everybody says how honest everything is with our political system, but we all know better. Go in person to your local polling center and drop it in, and make sure you get it dropped in. Otherwise, they'll say, gee whiz, it got there 14 minutes late, and they won't count it. So we're really late enough that hopefully you can bring it, hop in the car, and we'll all appreciate it, because we are going to make America great again. As I've traveled this nation, I've met the most amazing people. Their hopes have become my hopes. Their dreams have become my dreams. I've shared their joy, and I've also seen their heartache. I've seen so much heartache. I've met with grieving mothers who lost their children, families who've lost their hope, and so many people who've lost their faith in the future and the future of our country. Our government has failed our citizens. But we are going to turn it all around and deliver the change and leadership that America deserves. We're going to turn it around. This is a movement like our country has never seen before. It's a movement that's powered by our love for each other and our love for our country. We're living in a very divided country, but it's not going to be divided for long. We're going to get along. We're all going to get along. The special interests who are used to getting their way have been trying everything possible to stop us. You know that. And the media are among the most dishonest people anywhere at any time. But they can't stop us, because we're on the side, and it's the great side of the American people. That's what it is. Real change begins with immediately repealing and replacing Obamacare. It's just been announced that the residents of Colorado, where, by the way, we're doing extremely well, you do know. Extremely well. They're getting a little worried. I know Hillary, all of a sudden, she's making all of these trips. She's going all over the place. She was supposed to be home sleeping. This is not good for her. She's going to North Carolina. They're worried. I think she's coming back here. I know she's going to Michigan. She's going to Michigan. See, Michigan was never really in play for a Republican. But you know what? It's in play for us because all of their cars are being made now in Mexico. The cars are being made in Mexico. It's in play now. I think her going to Michigan's not going to help us because she was there while Mexico and other countries took the businesses right out of their midst. Ripped the jobs right out of them. No. I think she's wasting her time. I think rather than going to Michigan, she ought to go home and relax. That's what I think. Well, here's the bad news. The residents of Colorado are going to experience one of the most massive double-digit premium hikes you've ever seen in your life for Obamacare. But it's not going to matter because we're going to terminate it anyway, so don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We'll get rid of it fast. It's falling of its own weight. In the great state, as an example, of Arizona, where we're doing wonderfully also, premiums are going up more than 116%. Great people, very unfair. 90% of the counties in Colorado are losing Obamacare insurers next year. 90%. Good luck with your negotiation, folks. But again, you're not going to have to worry about it. Get those ballots in. Get them in. Get them in. Premiums are surging. Companies are leaving. Insurers are fleeing. Doctors are quitting. And deductibles are going through the roof. Some are $15,000, $16,000 deductible. In other words, you don't even have health care. Yet Hillary Clinton wants to double down on Obamacare, making it even more expensive. She's also raising your taxes very substantially, folks. Big, big tax increase. I'm asking for your vote so we can repeal and replace Obamacare and save health care for every family in Colorado and in our country. Real change means restoring honesty to our government. We'll start by getting Clinton out of the way. Gotta start. Gotta start someplace. There's little doubt that FBI Director Comey and the great special agents of the FBI will be able to collect more than enough evidence to garner indictments against Hillary Clinton and her inner circle, despite her efforts to disparage and discredit the FBI. If she were to win, it would create an unprecedented constitutional crisis. Be unprecedented. There'd be nothing like it. It would be a disaster from day one. It would be a disaster. Look at the way she's handled the email mess. All she had to do is use the server they gave her. Assume everybody was watching. Assume that the world was watching. Look what the hell she's done. This is the way she'll run the country. In that situation, we could very well have a sitting president under a felony indictment and ultimately a criminal trial. We need a government that can work properly from day one for the American people. We are so far behind. We are so far behind. So many things to do. That will be impossible with crooked Hillary Clinton, the prime suspect in a far-reaching criminal investigation. It's impossible. Her current scandals and controversies will continue throughout her presidency, and we will make it, honestly, look, it's going to be virtually impossible for her to govern. Now, the Republicans have talked very tough, and the Democrats. It's going to be just another mess for another 4 years, folks. A mess. We've got to get back to work, right? I mean, we have to get back to work. Get this country straightened out. Hey, we do owe $20 trillion, you know, it's like we got to start someplace. If she ever got into the Oval Office, Hillary and her special interests would rob this country blind, believe me. At the heart of this election is a simple question. Will our country be governed by the people or by the corrupt political class? If we win, the corrupt politicians and their special interests lose. If they win, the American people lose. It's just that simple. And I must tell you, folks, it's not that this is easy. Don't forget. Now, let's see, New York time. This is now 1 o'clock in the morning. This is like, what, my fourth or fifth or what? It's 1 in the morning. But I love doing it because I see we're coming 3 days. So many great things. Look, I was on the other side. I love this country. I saw what was happening. I was a total insider. Boy, did I become an outsider quickly, right? June 16th. We have a certain senator, I've never told this one, never told this one. We have a certain senator, he would be so nice to me for years. Don, how are you? This is Senator so-and-so. I'd love to see you and talk to you. And so I'd see him, it'd come up. I'm always giving tremendous amounts of money to the senator for some committee to re-elect senators and blah, blah, blah. We have, and we're going to this, and we're going to, I said, do me a favor, Senator, do me a favor. I'm really busy, just, how much? Well, if you could contribute X, it was always like, you know, a lot of money, the same. I didn't want to waste a lot of time because they'd talk forever. So this guy was always very nice, and every year, for years, I'd give him a lot of money for his committee, and that was it. Okay, I didn't care. Then I announced on June 16th of last year, Donald Trump running for president. This senator, like, it was called Trump who? I don't know him. I don't know him. No. I went from a great insider, and it was very nice. I mean, I liked it. It's great. I was building this big company. I built a truly great company. But I went from really some of the great assets of the world, some of the great real estate assets of the world. That's all right. Very little debt. Tremendous company. And I'm proud of it, and I love doing it. But I would see what's going on. I watch these politicians give $150 billion back to Iran, #1 terrorist state. I watched our military more and more, the depletion of our military. We have the greatest people, but our military is depleted. I watch all the things I watch our veterans being treated so badly. Any veterans in here? I mean, we're treating illegal immigrants, people that come into our country illegally, we're treating them far better in many cases than we treat our veterans. I watched all the things that are going on. I watched $400 million in cash, supposedly, go to Iran. Cash. That means you could fill this whole section of this arena with this stuff, except it wasn't $400 million. And that was to pay for the hostages, except Obama lied, just like he lied about Obamacare. You know, you keep your plan, you keep your doctor. But he said it wasn't for the hostages. But it was $400 million. I said, man, 400. Did you ever see $1 million in cash? It's like massive. 400 million in cash, except it wasn't 400. It turned out to be 1.7 billion. Airplane full. The airplanes. I mean, think of it, 400, but it wasn't. It was 1.7 billion. Anyway, I look at the way things run. It's so sad. And some things happened after Iran, but it's all the same. The incompetence, the gross incompetence. I look at the 10 sailors. They're off course a little bit. We had just made a deal. The way they humiliated those sailors and humiliated our country. So many things. So many things. And I said, I love our country. So I went from an insider to the ultimate outsider, and I must tell you, I love it. And it's all about making America great again, making our country great again. If you want a government that will secure your borders, stop the massive inflow of refugees, lower your taxes, bring back your jobs, grow your economy, and protect your family, I think you have to vote for Donald J. Trump. I do believe.